Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Hallie and I'm so happy that you're here. Today we are going to be talking about all the books that I want to read in February. I am so excited for this month because this month is really the month of love. So I have picked out a couple of cutie little romances to read during February, but I also am just truly in my fantasy and romantasy era. So I'm gonna continue leaning into that and just diving further into the world of fantasy until I'm tired of it, because I am absolutely just eating it up and I'm so excited for the books that I will hopefully get to this month. As I have mentioned literally so much lately, reading is just so much more enjoyable for me whenever I let myself mood read and really just go to whatever I'm in the mood for in the moment. So I'm hoping that all of these books I continue to stay in the mood for throughout the month, but some of these I might not end up getting to. Maybe I'll get to all of them, maybe I'll get to more than these, but this is just a general idea of books that I'm really hoping to get through throughout the month of February. So I have 4 romances picked and then 3 fantasies picked, which I'm so excited for. Honestly, those are probably the ones that I'm anticipating the most, so I'll save those for the end. And I'm gonna start by talking about the 4 romances that I'm hoping to get to this month. The first romance I have wanted to read for the longest time, Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. I feel like everyone and their mothers has read this book already and everyone absolutely loves it. I'm pretty sure that this is like childhood friends to lovers to friends. I don't know actually, but apparently this is just the most wholesome, good vibes, cozy little romance ever written. So I am so excited for this. I have honestly wanted to read this for a while, but this is one that I specifically wanted to save for February because it's so cozy of a romance. Like, what gives off more Valentine's Day vibes than an ultra cozy, lovey-dovey friends to lovers romance? So I am very, very excited to finally be reading Love in Other Words. I feel like this could end up being one of my monumental romances if I really love it. So I'm really highly anticipating this one, but I also don't want to get my hopes up too high because I don't want to like ruin books for myself because I'm expecting them to literally like end the world, you know? So Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. The next book is Darling Venom by Parker S. Huntington. This one I specifically also have been saving for the month of February. One, because it's pink and it has a heart on it, but I'm also pretty sure that part of this plot actually takes place on Valentine's Day. So I feel like it just makes sense for me to read this in the month of Valentine's Day because it's set in Valentine's Day. This one I'm pretty sure is a dark romance and I think it's enemies to lovers. I don't want to know too much about this one, honestly, because I feel like this would be really good to go into blind. All I know is that the main character is in love with someone and then something tragic happens and I don't know anything beyond that, and that's all I want to know. So, and then I know that it's also part of it takes place in Valentine's Day, I think. So I'm really, really highly anticipating this one. She's kind of thick though. Like, this one is available on Kindle Unlimited and on my Kindle it says the typical reading time is like 14 hours. And I'm like, for a dark romance? Like, what goes on in here? I don't know. I'm really, really excited to see what this is all about and see if I like it. I'm also excited to kind of give dark romance another try because I read Hooked last month and I liked the plot and I liked some of the dark romance elements, but a lot of it I didn't like. But that was also like a mafia romance, and I feel like there are definitely different types of dark romances within the dark romance genre. So I feel like, I mean, this could end up being a mafia romance too because I don't know anything about the book actually. So I don't know. We'll see if I like it. The next book actually has been on my TBR multiple times before this month. I don't know why I didn't end up reading it the months that it was on my TBR. I feel like I do this to myself all the time where I really want to read a book so bad that I hype it up so much in my brain that I end up making myself not want to read it because it's like so anticipated that I didn't even know how to make it make sense actually, because I feel like it just, the logic doesn't check out for this one for me. But the next book on my TBR is Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. I really want to read this and start the series and stop putting it off. Like, it doesn't make sense for me to put it off if it's one that I really want to read. I really don't know why I do that. I don't know. Honestly, what is pushing me over the edge is that I placed a hold on it on Libby months ago and it finally became available, and I felt like the fact that it became available right before this month started was just my sign to finally read it. I feel like it'll be easier for me to start on Kindle because I have the UK version of the book also, so like it's a little bit bigger, but on the inside the print is just like kind of weird because it doesn't go all the way to the edge of the book. I don't know. Maybe it's not weird to you guys, but for some reason my brain really chooses to fixate on the fact that it doesn't look normal. So I feel like starting it on the Kindle at least will be good for me and maybe keep me more engaged, and then like once I'm in the story it should be easy to finish. I just need to stop putting it off at the end of the day. I'm making myself start this month. Like, there's no way that this is gonna be in my TBR for a 3rd time and I'm gonna go through the whole month without reading it. I cannot do that again. So excited to finally get into this world. And then the last book as far as romances go, it's actually another dark romance. So I'm actually kind of surprised that I put 2 dark romances on here here after last month I read Hooked and I didn't like it. But again, this might be a mafia romance too. I don't actually know. The next book is My Dark Romeo by Parker S. Huntington and L.J. Shen. Honestly, the main reason that I picked this for my TBR this month is just because the cover I feel like so fits Valentine's Day. It's so pretty. It's honestly probably one of the prettiest covers that I own. There's like angels, and then the sprayed edges have angels on it, and even on the inside is like just beautiful. The actual hardcover on this is so pretty. And then this is also signed, which I didn't realize that whenever I bought it. So I opened it and I was like, oh wow. So that is the main reason that I put this on my TBR, honestly. I'm hoping that I like it. A lot of people have commented that a lot of people don't like this book because the main character is so like toxic and just mean to the point where it's not like I know there's such thing as grumpy sunshine and enemies to lovers and whatever, but people kind of say that he goes beyond that point and is just insufferable. So I'm very interested to see if I like it, because surprisingly enough, I usually end up really liking grumpy characters in books, which I always laugh at because my husband is the most like golden retriever happy boy, and then I read all these books about these like grumpy men and I'm like literally in love with them. I'm really interested to see how I feel about this, but I figured I would give it a try this month. It's so cute for Valentine's Day. So 2 dark romances on the TBR. That's honestly really interesting. I didn't anticipate that. Moving on to the fantasies that I chose for this month. I literally refused to not read these this month. I want to read them all so bad. The first 2 are actually part of ACOTAR. I have to read these this month. I have to read them. A Court of Mist and Fury I actually have started, but I've only got like a chapter in because I just haven't had that much time to read. And I wanted to also include A Court of Wings and Ruin as well, because I feel like a lot happens in these books and I want to read them back to back so that I stay in the world and I don't forget things, because I'm the type of person that whenever I finish reading the book, even if it's 5 stars, 6 stars, my brain just starts immediately deleting information. It's like I just simply cannot remember anything important about the book. Even while I'm reading the book, I can't remember a single character's name, maybe sometimes the male main character. Anyone else, it's like I don't know their name, I don't know what's going on, I don't know the plot, I just know that I'm having a good time. So I really, especially for these, because I know that there's a lot of plot development in these and a lot of just a lot goes on in these, I want to read them back to back so that I don't start losing information too quickly, because I feel like I'll obviously be able to enjoy the story a lot more if I know what's going on. So A Court of Mist and Fury and A Court of Wings and Ruin. This is the second and the third book in the ACOTAR series by Sarah J. Maas. I am so excited to read these, and what makes it even better is all 3 of my friends are currently on the last book in this series. Oh, and then my sister is actually also on the last book too. So as I'm reading, I'll be able to text them all in a group chat like all of my thoughts and stuff, and they're all like dying for me to get further in the series so that they can like just see my reactions as I go through things and experience everything and find things out. I don't know. It's just so exciting because it's such a good series and it's so much more fun to be able to enjoy series together with your friends. So yeah, I have to read these this month. I have no excuses. I have to read them. I'm dying to read them. The last book on my February TBR is Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. You guys, I have been putting this off, and again, I don't know why. Like, I don't know why I put it off, but this is the second book in the, I think it's like the Empyrean series or something, but obviously this comes after Fourth Wing. I'm so ready to be back in this world. Honestly, when it first came out, I saw like so many mixed reviews and so many people that were saying that they were so disappointed in the book and it's not near as good as Fourth Wing. But as time has gone on, I've seen a lot of people say that they think why a lot of people ended up being so disappointed with this book is because Fourth Wing was a very good introductory book to fantasy. It wasn't heavy plot-wise, like crazy stuff happened, but it wasn't like a super intricate plot to where you would be getting confused about things. There was also a lot of romance, and this book they say is a lot more plot heavy, and so people think that if you read Fourth Wing as like your first fantasy and then went straight into Iron Flame, it's definitely very different because it's, like I said, a lot more plot heavy, and so it just gives off kind of a different vibe than Fourth Wing. Like almost it's more of a serious fantasy, not that it's like super serious, but it's just like a step above Fourth Wing, and to me I feel like that makes sense. So I feel like I'm ready to read this, and I honestly am kind of excited to have more plot that because I really loved the romance in Fourth Wing, obviously, but the plot, especially towards the end, just started getting so interesting. Like, I'm genuinely also invested in the plot as well as the romance at this point. I don't know, and I have to read it because I keep almost seeing spoilers on TikTok. I started a TikTok and it's been like good and bad because one, I love book talk. It's so fun. Like, there's so many just funny little things. I could spend literally hours on there. It's honestly bad. But also there are so many spoilers on TikTok. Like, the amount of times that I'll be halfway through a sentence and realize that it's a spoiler and I'll just like swipe as fast as I can before my eyes can continue reading because my eyes will betray me. They'll just read it and ruin it for me before I even have a chance to process what I'm doing. So that has been the dangerous side of being on book talk and TikTok more, is just that, like, more than anywhere else, I feel like there's so many, well, honestly on Instagram too, there has actually been I don't know, it's just dangerous out here on these streets. You can't trust anybody. So now I feel like I need to hurry up and read things so that it doesn't get spoiled for me online. So I'm so excited to read this, and I really hope that I'm not on the end of the stick that ends up being disappointed with this book and that I continue to love the series because Fourth Wing was so good. So these are all the books on my February TBR. I am so excited. I feel like this is going to be such a good month of reading, especially for the fantasies, but I also have a couple of romances I have been anticipating for so long that I have to get to them this month, and I really just hope that I love them as much as I anticipate I will. If you want to see me read and react to any of these books, I always try and record all my reactions to the books that I have on my TBRs for the month, so if you aren't already, make sure to subscribe and also follow me on Instagram and TikTok because, like I said, I am trying to post more over there as well. Everything is linked in the bio. But yeah, that's all I have for today's video. So thank you so much for watching. I'm so excited for this month of reading, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!